Glenn, Charlie, and crew here at the Finance and IT meeting. Hoping you can make it. So come on down when you get a chance. I think we're going to kick it off here. It's about 5:06. Bye.
That makes Steven in charge of this,
You
or
are the chair by
oh,
default.
here, okay,
Yeah.
default, here we go. It's 5:06, and I'll call the meeting to order, and roll call is easy because it's just myself. So, start with IT.
Sure. We just wanted to give a quick little update on a few items. The cybersecurity grant that we applied for, we did not get selected for this round, but we were like about 61 out of 143 or something like that. And they liked what we submitted, so encouraged us to reapply for. We're actually on the list for the next round, and we're going to make a few changes that were recommended, and it looks really good. So we're probably looking at somewhere between 50 and 100,000 for that. So good.
When is the next round?
It's we have to get the information to them by the end of October. We'll get it to them sooner though. And the city revised website refresh, that's still in the quality assurance stage, which is taking a bit longer than anticipated, but we don't really have a lot of control over that with the vendor. But hoping that by the end of this month, we can go live, and it did hook up here. So if anyone wants to see that, we can display it as well. But he's been doing a lot of IT professional development training and certification courses, and been working with finance on the civic clerk implementation that looks like we'll be ready to do our first meeting off of agendas by the end of this month. And we just completed our criminal justice information system technical security audit today. Have that done, and so nice little certificate for the wall. We won't have to do that for another 3 years. And I've got everything, all this documentation in a shared area with the police department, so that we can use those in the future as well. Still working on the social media management transition plan. We've actually got a big checklist here of a bunch of other items as well that we're working through on making sure that Woody has admin accounts set up for things for when I retire at the end of the year, and just for backup as well. It's always good to have a second person. And also working with finance on implementing an asset management system for controlling our fixed assets, the small and attractive items like laptops and you know, tablets, things like that. The owl things with, they've got the tags on them, but right now we're basically tracking those through Excel spreadsheets, which is no fun. So we're looking at some solutions that will allow us to manage those through an app on our intranet. So it'll be available for people to check things out through it, for certain key staff to make changes, to add items to it. So that'll be nice.
I had people give me feedback on watching the last video, and it made them sick because it was swirling so much, but there's probably nothing we can do about that, huh?
It does, yeah. If we're using this thing, it moves around quite a bit as it goes to whoever's speaking. And if we don't do this, we get you know, depending on how it's set up, you might just get the back of people's heads. It's not a bad thing, but then you've got to use these microphones and they're not omnidirectional. There's two, so especially for like the planning commission, the joint study session with the planning commission, there's no way that you would be able to pick up all the audio on this. This thing does pick up really good audio. And for those folks, if they don't need the video, they can also listen to the audio alone.
That's a good idea. I'll tell
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
Let's see, and Woody is getting all set up for our next quarterly technical advisory group meeting, and that is next week, I believe.
21st.
And that's about it.
To Kelly then. Okay. Next item is the financial update for 2023. We won't go through all of the charts, but just a quick overview of the general fund, looking at revenues and expenditures compared to what we have budgeted. And right now we are on track with our budget. Revenues are a little bit higher than we budgeted, and expenditures are a little bit lower, but just about meeting what we anticipated for the year. Some significant items just to point out, there's not that much. A lot of it is just routine items, but the general fund did pay off a $300,000 loan to the sewer fund, which we talked about previously with the council. And not a lot of other significant information or significant items. We did post the second quarter financial information on our website through June, although this information is through August, so that's available for the council, the public, anyone who is interested. I did just want to show, and we could talk about this at further meetings if we have kind of a budget discussion about how the budget is put together, just providing more knowledge. But there were some questions at last meeting about investments. So just wanted to show a quick summary on page 24. This is the typical thing that's been included in the last couple of years of quarterly financial updates. This just gives a breakdown to where all of the city's money is held. On page 25, you can see how we break it up. The city has several different funds, and each one of them have a cash balance. So this is the cash balance in each of our funds as of the end of August. So the city has about $28 million, and you can see how that money corresponds with our investments, our cash investments at the different locations. Like we talked about at the previous meeting, none of the money is strictly tied. You can't tie the general fund money specifically to any one of these items. It's all a pool that's allocated to the different funds. So that's kind of the first part of it, the 2023 financial update. Any questions or anything you want to talk through?
Well, I think Councilmember Diamond brought it up in the breakdown of each of these funds and how they go together. At some point, we'll get to meet and talk about that. And I think that would be very helpful with the numbers in front of you, where that money's coming from. You can't steal this money to pay this money, and a whole breakdown like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing something like that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that too.
The audience could read this. A big square on there.
It's published online.
It's published online.
Here.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean because of
They
the
got it.
Yeah.
recorded?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I can help you out with that document after.
I'll take a copy of it.
Next thing is the 2023 budget amendment. So just included a draft of it. I put it out of order just so that the first page is the summary. It starts on, page 72 in the blue. This is just a draft. We're still working on some adjustments. I know Chief McElraith, had a discussion with him this morning. He has some adjustments to make. I think there'll be some for Public Works as well, but this is just our draft of the second budget amendment. We hope to have a first reading of the budget amendment and a public hearing on the 27th council meeting, and then a second read and requesting approval on October 11th. So this is what we have so far, and there'll be more smaller adjustments to come.
It's too bad that couldn't come before so they can see where the money's coming from and where you can't take it and all that could come before that, but realize there's no time to do that. But will they each get a printout like this? Because I think that'd be helpful too. Like a packet.
Yep, we can have the packet for, we'll always put it in for budget amendments, and then if anyone wants printed copies or any other format, we're happy to make that.
I think that'd be helpful for them to be able to go through it and look at it rather than on the computer. You have it in front of you. You can go and highlight your questions and things. That might be helpful too.
We'd also try, we have the original budget, the proposed budget and the differences here. And then on the far column are the notes. We try and put things in there that are helpful to us as to remind stuff. A lot of it is like my notes. I put in dates and stuff in there, but also to give some perspective to outside readers as well, why that change has occurred. Any questions on any of this?
No, you're right.
Okay. That's all I had for this meeting. Really just wanted to give opportunity to ask you to see the information and ask any questions. Again, we'll be presenting a revised version at the next council meeting for public hearing.
I think that's the fastest meeting that we've had. I have one person.
Yes.
I like to sit, reflect, and think about these different things so that I can make better judgment on what I would propose or whatever. So I guess no one else has anything further good of nothing. All right, then we're gonna close this meeting at 5:19 because I don't have anyone to ask for a motion. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really kind of concerned about.
He did call.
Oh, did
I
he?
just noted he called. I had my phone silent.
Oh,
I have a
okay.
feeling he
There's
called
a
there
little
next.
but I got
Oh.
really before you sign up.
Okay.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Yep. He's calling.